Hello everyone. Tonight and every Monday night, I take just 5 minutes to share a new conversation that it'll likely challenge everything you thought you knew about nutrition. It did for me. I was a former two-sport athlete in college. I played college football and baseball at the University of South Carolina. Went on to play pro baseball for a few seasons. I was a personal trainer for 18 years. Actually owned an athlete training center, trained young athletes, college athletes, and NFL prospects. I've done the bodybuilding, the strongman, and I only say that because I think it somewhat qualifies me as a person that says I'm pretty well grounded in performance and nutrition. But what I didn't know, I didn't know. So if you're a skeptic listening to this call, maybe as a favor to somebody, good, you probably should be. I know I was, but I was also open. I never thought I knew it all when it came to anything in the sports performance and training industry. So if someone could show me facts, hard evidence, real research, I'd be willing to listen. And that's what we're asking you for tonight. So here's the deal. In the next few minutes, you'll have heard enough information to decide if you want to hang on and learn more or if you want to hang up. We're fine either way. We just want to thank you now in advance. Someone asked you to listen in, maybe your friend, family member, coworker, whoever it is. That's tough to do. And so we appreciate you, meaning enough to them and doing that. We promised them we'd keep it short, simple, to the point. That's our goal every Monday night. So if you want to hear this again, next Monday night, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we repeat this call. So here we go. Macronutrients defined. Really, substances that provide calories or energy for the body. It's real simple. There are three. People don't know it, but they know them well. Proteins, carbs, and fats. Each macro provides a unique energy source and energy yield to the body. For example, 1 gram of fat has an energy yield of 9 calories, whereas 1 gram of protein or carb has an energy yield of 4 calories. So here's where it gets interesting, kind of the title of this call about a fourth macronutrient. This is what turns the table for most people. Our company, PRÜVIT, roughly 2 months ago, depending on when you hear this recording, recently introduced a fourth macronutrient to the consumer market, and it has a higher energy yield than both carbs and proteins. About a 4.5 to 5.5, maybe even 6 calorie per gram energy yield. This is an energy source that it's going to be preferred by the body, specifically your brain. It's also protein sparing, and while I'll speak to that in a minute, if your goal is to lose body fat, not weight, but body fat, really body fat composition, you'll absolutely want to use this product, so hang in there with us. I tell people I know enough to be dangerous about nutrition, but I'm also a research junkie. So for those that are more scientific listening in, maybe you're driven by research, this is a research junkie's dream as far as this product's concerned. But this will get your attention. Our product generates more ATP per unit of oxygen than glucose. Let me say that again. And if you're an athlete or you're a hardcore fitness person listening in, don't miss this. We have a product that generates more ATP, cellular energy, adenosine triphosphate, per unit of oxygen than glucose. That's a profound statement. That's why athletes swear, when they take this product, they swear they didn't have to breathe as heavy during their run, workout, or training session. And that's not placebo effect. We can prove what this product does in your body, and we can prove it with real research. So what is it? We call it Keto OS. It stands for Ketone Operating System. It's an exogenous ketone supplement. It's a product that puts you into therapeutic ketosis in less than an hour with just a single serving, regardless of a person's eating habits or diet. And again, like I said, we can prove it. We can physiologically prove through a blood test or a urine test that our product will elevate blood ketones to therapeutic levels in your body and do so for several hours. For those of you less familiar with what that means or the term ketosis, you'll likely associate it with the idea of burning body fat for energy. And for the most part, who wouldn't want to trim down or tighten up and lose a little extra body fat? The problem is getting into a state of nutritional ketosis. That's where your body naturally creates ketones endogenously. Endogenous meaning with an N inside your body. That's very difficult to do, not only to achieve, but to maintain. So this is what blew my mind. I wouldn't believe it until I experienced it myself. It didn't matter how much research you showed me. I wouldn't believe this. So to create the benefits of endogenous ketones in your body at therapeutic levels, you're looking at ballpark 5-10 rough days with very aggressive dietary restrictions. Yet our product offers those same benefits in just 1 hour with a single serving of our Keto OS. Same impact, same outcome, same benefits, same response, but obviously much greater efficiency and effectiveness. Now that's crazy. Let me say that again. 5 to 10 days, dietary restrictions, or just drink our product and an hour later, you have the same result. So why does this matter? Why should you care? It's simple. Ketones, no matter how they end up in your body, whether you do it nutritionally or you drink our product, or you do both, which is the ideal scenario, ketones are amazing. Just Google ketones, followed by about any other word. I tell people, go Google ketones space sports performance, ketones space diabetes, cancer, dementia, Alzheimer's, epilepsy, aging, whatever the case may be, you will see a vast amount of research that supports everything we're talking about tonight. So what's the practical application if you're listening in? First, to the everyday average person. That's most people who simply want to look and feel better. Again, this is going to defy logic. It's not what you've been taught. It's not what you've come to know and understand about nutrition. So just kind of warning you up front. But think about this. You wake up tomorrow morning, you take 1 scoop of our product mixed with water and ice in a shaker cup. Don't even need a blender. Tastes great, kind of like a creamsicle. I tell people like a push-up pop. When I was a kid, we used to have those. Tastes just like that. But then you eat nothing until lunchtime. So you get up, you have this drink, and you don't have anything for the next several hours. But you're not hungry. You don't have cravings. You have great energy. You don't need extra coffee. You don't need a energy drink. And believe it or not, and this is hard for me to actually notice, but I do with this product, there is a noticeable improvement in focus and mental clarity, almost like the brain fog is lifted. More importantly, the ketones we put in your body exogenously, they're protein sparing. They prevent muscle breakdown. So in short, you've not eaten, you feel fantastic, you haven't even thought about food or being hungry for the last few hours, and yet during this period of calorie deficit, your muscle and lean tissue is protected. That's always the issue. That's always the concern that I had. Well, wait a minute. If I'm not eating, there's going to be a breakdown effect. This has minimized that completely. So when you actually do eat your first lunch around lunchtime, this isn't mandatory, but just think about this for a minute. That lunch is high fat, medium protein, low to no carbs. So yes, put butter on your broccoli. Have bacon with whole eggs. Choose the fattest cuts of meat. Eat dark meat chicken. Put heavy cream in your coffee. Whatever that looks like. You're satisfied. Your food tastes great. To me, it's like a cheat meal every time I eat. And you have a sense of satiety. So you're satisfied. You're full until your next meal. That'll be probably your last meal of the day. Let's call it dinner time. Before maybe 8 o'clock. Again, high fat, medium protein, low to no carb. So the days of those 5 to 6 small meals to keep your metabolism running, I thought that was the only way to do this. It's simply not necessary. Despite what you've been led to believe, it's just not. So think about it. From 8 last night, after you ate dinner, till roughly 12 noon the next day, that's 16 hours when your body's been fasting. With this product, this approach, your body's going to change. That's one of the fastest ways to teach and train your body to utilize stored body fat through a process called beta oxidation for energy, than filling your body with glucose or sugar or carbs every few hours. And here's what happens. Your biomarkers, they're going to start to respond almost immediately. Blood sugar, insulin sensitivity, BMI, your body mass index, meaning we're not weight loss. We're not a weight loss product. We're not a weight loss program. You will lose weight, but we want you to lose body fat. So the bottom line is you're teaching your body to prefer ketones for fuel over glucose. So that's the everyday average person. I'm nearing the 5-minute point, but let me slide this in real quick to address those who, you know what, you're already fit. You don't want to lose much fat, or you don't have much fat to lose. I wish I was one of those people. Maybe you want to gain weight. What about performance athlete, fitness-minded people? What about those that are just past their prime? They don't want to age any faster than they have to. This is where it kind of hit a nerve and struck home with me. 3 years ago, my father was diagnosed with what's called type 3 diabetes. Most people don't know what that means. Type 1, your pancreas doesn't create insulin. Without insulin, blood sugars can't be turned to glucose to enter into the cell tissue for energy. Type 2, tissue has become insulin resistant. Type 3, Google it. You're going to see something come up called Alzheimer's disease. That was my father 3 years ago, and I vowed to research and figure out how could I help him. I ran across a book called Alzheimer's. What if there was a cure? The Power of Ketones. Go get it right now. I mean, it'll change your mindset completely, especially if you have elderly parents. I don't want my kids to see me the way I had to see my father laying in that bed when he passed away this past Christmas Eve. And reading this book would have forever changed my approach to the last 3 years of his life. So, quick recap. This product puts exogenous ketones, which are a great thing for everybody, in your body within 1 hour. I think at this point you've heard enough to either want to discredit everything that you've heard. I think you'll have a tough time doing it because of the research and the validation and the evidence, the mounting evidence especially. But you've heard enough. Maybe you're someone that you love what you hear. It almost sounds too good to be true. Could this possibly be that convenient to fit my lifestyle? And you want to hear more. So thanks so much for those of you listening in. For those that want to hear a little bit more about the science, I'm going to dive in. But we'll keep the call short for the most part. And again, we do this every Monday night. So for those of you wondering, well, how does this work? How can I possibly just eat a couple of times a day, move towards high fat, medium protein, low to no carb, maintain muscle, maintain my strength? How does that happen? I want you to follow this scenario. On the surface, it's an analogy, but I think it works. At least it's a word picture for me that helped put it into perspective. So it's kind of silly, but I think it'll help you. Imagine an 18-wheeler driving down the highway, pulling a giant oil tanker, and it runs out of gas. So you got this giant oil tanker pulled by a truck. There are two fuel tanks. The fuel tank on the truck and the giant tank of gas, or this giant tanker that truck's pulling. The smaller gas tank on the truck, this is going to represent carbs or sugar, which turns to glucose in your body. The larger fuel source, the giant oil tanker, that's going to represent body fat, which can convert to ketones in your body for energy, for fuel. So back to the issue, the driver of the truck runs out of gas, and even though there's this giant tank of fuel attached to the truck, he calls for help, calls AAA, whatever, and they come and fill up his gas tank. That should sound familiar probably to most of us, because what do we do when we run out of gas? We find more fuel, typically carbs. And even though we carry around this additional body fat that can be used for fuel, we never think to access that. What we do is we fill up that small tank with something that's cheap and simple, carbs, sugar. It fills up our tank and runs out. We fill it up again, runs out. Fill it up again, runs out. All the while, we've got this huge store of fuel in a version of body fat that we never think to access. So imagine this. Keto OS, the product that we launched a couple of months ago, imagine that as this imaginary valve, or kind of this bridge that connects the giant tank of fuel to the smaller gas tank on the truck. In other words, what if we stopped depending on carbs that turn to glucose and started focusing on fats that create ketone bodies in your system? We have this abundant fuel source called body fat, but we need to learn to tap into it. That's what we do. That's what works, and that's what can literally change your life. That's what we've done over the last couple of months. There's a reason we've gone from 0 to over $1 million in sales in just our second month, the month of July, with all kinds of obstacles. The company's success is because we've maintained and are very proud of our approach to not only the product offering, but the PRÜVIT brand and the business. Most people that have taken this product, they don't even know the business model. They don't realize they can be rewarded by sharing this information. They're just doing it naturally because it's truly a valid product that is unmatched in the nutritional space. It just is. I challenge you, look back 10 years, find something truly innovative that's a new conversation, that's just not another rewind of the same story told a different way. So we've got a product. It's marketed through a multi-level marketing, direct marketing, network marketing, call whatever you want, social marketing, people telling people, but there's no way on the planet that this product, through traditional business model, would generate over $1 million in sales in just the second month sitting on the shelf of a nutrition store. It just wouldn't happen. It's just impossible. So we know the power of that. But as I mentioned, we're very proud of the fact that we've been very understated. Most people, they don't even know there's a comp plan attached to this. In fact, most people have never even logged in and realized that they have a commission check waiting for them. Why? On purpose. We launched this company without a corporate website. People haven't really heard from the company. We've never done a single corporate conference call. We don't talk about the opportunity or how much money you can make or how great this can change your life. We keep it all focused on the product. As a matter of fact, we were so specific with the product that we wanted to invite people to try this prototype product. We're not at the final standpoint of where we're going to be as a company, but we did have an invitation process where people could invite people to try our product. Matter of fact, they couldn't even sample it. Hey, here's an invitation code. You do the research. You can buy 75 servings of this product for $350. As you heard me say, no hype, no comp, no corporate presence, no corporate website. You had to be invited to even order it, yet look at the sales that we've created. That's all because of this conversation, the appeal it has to people, and most importantly, the fact that our product works within 1 single hour of taking it, and you can prove it. Think about that. You don't have to wonder, can I go get this cheaper else somewhere else? Can I go find a better version of this? Is there a better compensation program tied to telling people about this product? Doesn't exist. We were first. We were first to the market with an exogenous ketone product designed for the masses. But here's what's pretty significant. This formulation is based on a patented formula by the foremost experts in ketone research. There's a patent held by the University of South Florida. It's pending, that has 3 authors. 2 of them are our partners. In other words, our product is based on a patent owned by the University of South Florida, licensed to us so we could go legally represent this product in the marketplace. You can't just go recreate this product. Number one, the raw materials are very difficult to attain. Matter of fact, when we decided we were going to do this, when we were going to put the materials together, when we were going to go find the sources for these materials, we thought we'd keep the main thing the main thing. Not only did we partner with the University of South Florida, not partner them, but took advantage of that patent and recreated that formula. But what we did is we found one of the inventors of the patent, one of the authors listed on that patent, to be our supplier of BHB salts. Why not? Why go buy them from someone? Why not stay as close to home as someone that actually helped invent this formulation? That's significant. That separates us from everybody else in this space. People ask how valid this is. This is pretty valid in my opinion. I'm going to read this straight from the patent. This invention was made with government support under grant number N0014-13-1-0062, awarded by the Department of Defense, Office of Naval Research. The government has certain rights in the invention. So when we claim that this was government funded, the research behind this, you can go prove it to yourself. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to go Google exogenous ketone supplementation patent. There, I mean, I gave it away. But it's out there in the public domain. If you want to learn more about what this truly encompasses and what it embodies, this is far more than what we talk about. Matter of fact, we minimize the power of this product by talking about body composition. The research professors, they're excited about the stuff that really matters. How does this affect Alzheimer's disease, neurological protection, cognitive function? What does this do in to cancer cells. We don't make any medical claims, but I can tell you the stories and testimonies we've heard from people that have tried it all, people that are on prescription medications, people that thought we were crazy to tell them to eat high, healthy fat meals, low, no sugar consumption. They thought we were crazy. You know what? Try it and you'll be sold as well. That's really the basis of what we do. As you can imagine, the opportunity follows. It's real simple. It's supply and demand. There is a growing demand for this, and we're the original supplier. So if you want to lock arms with us, if you want to try product, if you want to get involved, if you want to see what all this research is about, if you're a research junkie, this is a dream company and a dream product for you because it's all there. Probably more so and more credible, more white papers than anything I've seen. And I've seen and tried pretty much everything, probably both legal and illegal. But I just want to thank you guys. Again, we do this call the first 5 minutes. I hope delivered enough for your guests or people to learn at least the substance of this call. But just appreciate everybody listening in, and just get back in touch with the person that shared this information, whether it's a recording or a playback of the conference call, and we'll make sure they get you more details. Thanks again. Have a great night. Have a great day. God bless.